All right, so a quick unboxing video here. What is it that I have today? This is actually something that I sent off to SS Customs. So let me move this. This is actually what SS Customs sent me inside the smaller box. And I'll see, oh, look, it's the Hot Wheels RC Cybertruck. So what is it that SS Customs sent me for it? Let me unbox this. All right, for those who maybe haven't seen the Hot Wheels RC Cybertruck, as you can see, it looks like this. Has a little quad in the back here, and then of course the control for steering and powering the Cybertruck. But you know, there's something wrong with this Cybertruck. It just looks like a regular Cybertruck. So that's where SS Customs comes in and what they sent me. So let's unpackage this for a second, unroll it, and see what we have inside of here. Oh, this might just be packaging. Yep, that one is just packaging. Here's what's actually in the box. SS Customs is now offering something custom for Hot Wheels RC Cybertruck owners that might want their Cybertruck to be personalized. Do you recognize what this is? That's right, the Halo Cybertruck wrap for the Hot Wheels RC Cybertruck. So we'll get to installing this wrap. All right, I thought I would show a couple of things here about how to wrap your Hot Wheels RC Cybertruck. And so you can see I've already wrapped this side, I've wrapped the front, and I've also wrapped the back. All right, so it does take a bit of time. I do know that SS Customs does offer a service where they will not only print the wrap for you, but for a fee, they will wrap the RC Cybertruck and send it back to you fully wrapped. So you don't have to do any of this, but you know, I chose that I wanted to do some of this myself. So let me talk about how I've wrapped these three sides and then maybe show you a bit briefly here about wrapping this last side of the truck. So first off, the wraps do come on this roll from SS Customs. You can see I've already peeled off and used some of the other pieces. This is one, obviously I need to turn this over, that this is going to be the wrap that peels off and comes on this side. And the sides are probably the most complex part to wrap because you do have to go around the wheel wells. Here you've got, you know, kind of indentations around the windows that you gotta work around. Then there's the lower piece around the kind of the rail trim there at the bottom. But let me talk about tools in terms of what I use to do this. First off, this tool, it's soft on this edge, you know, hard plastic on this edge, and that's just like you would use for actual vinyl application or window tint film application. That's what one of these tools is for. So I'm using it to kind of work in along the edges, you know, down in here, maybe along the bottom, certainly here against the plastic edges of the wheel well arch pieces. And then this is the other key tool that you need, some really sharp X-Acto knife, all right? Because you are going to need to make little slits. You're going to need to do some trimming, you know, as you bring it up against the edge, and then you're going to want to trim along that edge, or you may even need to glide along, say, for example, the edge of the windshield here and trim accordingly. So definitely need a good X-Acto knife and a steady hand, and then one of these tools as well here. So let me pause for a moment and then I'll go ahead and pull this sheet off here, lay the truck on its side, and show you kind of how I start positioning it, at least for this wrap. Of course, every wrap's going to be different. Some of them might just be a simple straight color, in which case you don't have to worry so much about positioning in detail. All right, so I have the piece of vinyl peeled off from the backing paper. And then of course, again, for most of these, it might be just as easy as like, oh, we'll just lay it on and then we'll start smoothing it out and we'll be done. I have the issue that on this particular wrap, I have this line that goes up the sail panel here. So you can see on this crease in the body, I've got to get that lined up. If I don't get that lined up on this one, well, then this whole one is not good. So I'm going to go off video for a moment, try to get that lined up, and then come back on and show you how I did. Okay, I wanted to show you here that I do have it on the side. I was primarily focusing on this crease line that runs all the way down the truck and to the front. And then I'm going to work my way upwards with this device, or with the little spreader here, and then I'm going to work my way downwards and then trim in along the edges. So I will take a few minutes to get that done. So let me just show a little bit of that on camera. Let's see what's the best way. Maybe to set this down, and you can see I just want to get this, you know, smoothed up here so it's on the edge good. The truck has some suspension to it, so it's bouncing around a bit. But then I want to bring these down, you know, try to get closer. And then I'm actually going to cut out a section here because obviously it doesn't need to be over the top of the wheels. And that'll make it a little bit easier for peeling up the piece, putting it back down. And that's okay. I mean, you can peel this stuff back up and see, get it just situated just the way you want it, you know, before you end up trimming any of the edges. So I've got this sail panel pretty much where I want it. And then I'll start just working my way around. I'll start bringing this down here as well too. And again, I'll get in here with the X-Acto knife and we'll get that trimmed off. So let me push this down a little bit here more with this piece. And again, you can peel this up. If I want to bring this back up and work it down like so, I can certainly do so. And see, I'm bringing that down to now I'm getting close to where that edge is for the wheel well pieces, and then I'm going to use that X-Acto knife and slide it around there. But before I want to make sure, at least for this pattern, that I've got good alignment across the rest of the truck. And I think I do, so I'm probably going to start trimming here shortly. So let me pause the video. I'll do a little bit more work and come back. So here I've cut out, as you can see, some pieces there around the wheel wells, just to try to get this you know, a little bit easier to work with. One of the other things I suggest doing is cutting kind of little relief cuts here so that you kind of go right at the angle of where that wrap is going to want to have to bend or fold. So I can kind of peel that back a little there. That makes it a little easier to work with, a little easier to lay down. So now again, I have this all the way up against here, so I can start trimming against there. So again, sharp blade, go slowly. You'll feel like the crease of exactly where you need to be. Now I want to be careful as I reach the end here. Where exactly is that end? And again, getting a relief cut in here can certainly help make things a little easier. See that? I'm kind of relief cut that, so I move towards the plastic. All right, where's our edge? So I can peel that back a little bit and see, there's my edge. I'm gonna come here and down to here. So I'm gonna get that trimmed. So again, right to there. Excellent. Now I can start laying this down. That's interesting. It's a little different on this side. There's actually a area here that was not, I don't think, on the other side. But again, I can use this to start laying that down, laying that edge down, smoothing this down here, and trying to get the whole part of that put together. This is where, again, the kind of harder edge plastic part works well here. And then, of course, I've got right up against that I want to trim. So I'm going to score that, come down to here, almost to the bottom there. Okay. And this again is where I need to push in here. And it's okay if you kind of crinkle a little bit that's on the extra part there. Hope everybody can see that. Sorry if my hand's been blocking some of that. All right, let's make sure we've got that right up against here. Okay. Make sure I have that right where that goes. Yep, right there. Make sure I've got that sliced in here, all the way down. It's okay to trim that a little bit here. Slice it on out. There we go. Now I can start peeling some of that off. And look, we We have a nice edge right there. This should, yep, that's what I thought, get us all the way to right here. So that's kind of a quick lesson in how to trim. Again, I'm going to score this. I'm going to get that all the way down to the corner right there. You can use your fingers. You can kind of use a fingernail. Again, I need to use that tool to kind of bring this down. And again, lifting up some of this to make it a little easier. I want to make sure we have that scored cut all the way to the corner. And again, we can kind of score that so we can take these pieces off. Come here. There we go. All right, so I got that piece out of the way as well. So I'm going to continue to work my way around, but that kind of gives you a quick description, and obviously I got to trim up the little excess here on the end. But let me pause the video. I'll do a little bit more positioning and trimming and come back as I'm a little further along. But hopefully this is helpful to everyone. Oh, I will show you that once you do get it up here at the top, that you are going to likely slide the blade right along the edge. Maybe I'll show that here in a little bit in the video, but I want to get all this positioned first. All right, as you can see, I have gone ahead and trimmed up the side. Ooh, I got the back trimmed here. I just need to get the rest of that flap trimmed, but I was going to show you trimming up along this edge here. So why don't I go ahead and do that for a moment, because I still have, so in here, I still have to get all this pushed down in and trimmed away around the windows, and that takes a little bit of time and a little bit harder to show, but I was maybe going to see if I couldn't show you trimming this edge along the back here and how I typically do that with the X-Acto knife. So what I want to do is I want to use, a very sharp area of the knife. So maybe sometimes I'll have to bring out a little bit more of the new knife just so that it's a nice, truly sharp edge. It hasn't gotten dull from, cutting all this vinyl. But then take and lay it, see how I'm laying that on flat on the surface there of the truck. Maybe if I put this up. So I'm going to be laying this flat on the surface of the truck there, and then holding the vinyl. And then while I do this, just literally kind of be pulling that up and trimming, just sliding this up, okay? And sometimes it goes right at the edge. Sometimes it seeps in a little bit, and I have to come back and, like I'm doing there, get more along the edge. Here, let's see how we can see that. So you can see it's starting to just trim that up along the edge. And you'll just need to do that all along the edge here until we get up here to the top. So let me hold this up more. Oop. Again, trying to find the sharp area. Now this might need to be pulled a little bit. There we go. So sometimes, you might need to pull the edge of that up a little bit just so you don't have any creases. Get a nice clean area to do that with. Pull this up a bit more. Here, I need to pull that off and up so I have a nice clean edge, and then again, just slide that up. So, all right, with that, I'm going to trim this piece away here. I can actually use my scissors to do it, to just get that out of the way for a moment. I actually probably save this. Maybe I'll put some on the little trike that comes with it, the little four-wheeler that fits in the back. As you can see, that's a pretty clean edge. You can clean that up if there's a little slight pieces, but that's a good, clean, crisp edge for that vinyl. So I'm going to shut camera off, work a little bit more here around the windshield area, and then get this finished up. But we are almost done with the Halo Cybertruck with the Hot Wheels RC model. And then we'll go running around the floor some, have some fun with it. Guess one little tip here I'll show you about doing the being able to cut out around the windows is I actually make a slit right down the middle here, so you can see all the way that there's a slit all the way there. That allows me to then relieve the pressure so I can use my edging tool, use this edging tool, get it all along the edge here, and then come in with the X-Acto knife and trim it up and start taking the pieces out of the way. That also will allow me to move this up or down a little bit to cover this top bar, which is, going to be that silver stainless color, but I need to be able to cover it in my instance with black. So if your wrap needs to be able to wrap the upper piece above the window, I suggest cutting a slit. You can see I've done it all the way down up here to the front. So it just relieves the pressure. Then I can push this in with the edging tool. It's going to not be fighting the other side of the wrap, on the top part of the window. Same thing up here. And then just simply come along with the knife and edge that away. So maybe here, I'll just show a little bit of that here. I'm going to use that edging tool, get that edge down in here, all the way down like so. And then it's easy, much easier to come back in like this with the X-Acto knife. So now I can simply drag that tip right along through here, over here to this side, and then see that's going to pull away. And if that's still needs a little extra trimming, I can come back here like this, trim that little sliver off there, and again, do that all the way up into these windows here. Again, for me, all the way up to the front. Just pull that off there. And let's trim right up there. And again, we'll do the same like this. Just want to get right along that edge. So notice I'm just using my fingernail to run that in there. And then again, can use the X-Acto blade to come right up through there. So I'll probably stop right about there. Then I should be able to peel this away, peel that away. See? Much, much easier. I'll peel that back through there because I've got that piece cut across here. So I will get this excess out of the way. Then I just need to work on that top crossbar piece, and then I am done. But wanted to show you how that works as far as trimming along the windows. And again, I'm going to remove this piece here. I just want to make sure that that top piece is fully covered. So I'm going to stop the camera a second and be able to work with both hands better and get this done. All right, here we go. We have finished this side of the Cybertruck. So maybe smooth out a couple little spots here. That's what this tool is good for. We can do some of that. If there's any other edges that need to be trimmed, but that looks like it's pretty good. This edge is good. All along the body panels are good. So now it's time to, let's go get the remote control and drive this thing around. All right, here we go, a little test drive. Ooh, this thing is fast. Whoops. Let's go that way so we can see the headlights. So there we go. We have a little miniature version of the Halo Cybertruck, courtesy of Hot Wheels and their RC Cybertruck and SS Customs for doing the little mini wrap. And again, I'm going to leave a link in the video here if you want to get a hold of SS Customs and see if they can do a mini wrap for your Cybertruck, much as they did mine. And again, they'll even wrap it for you if you choose to have it. If you choose to have it wrapped by them, they can certainly do that for you. Or you can have the fun like I did and wrap it yourself. And then now I've got a great little addition to take to some car shows and other places to have fun with some kids. So thanks for watching. Hope this was helpful for you. Hope you enjoy a Hot Wheels RC Cybertruck if you have one. They're certainly fun, and hopefully you'll want to wrap yours like I did mine. This is Tesla Ken for the HaloCybertruck.com website, and stay tuned for more future articles on modifications and improvements to the Cybertruck. Thanks for watching.